Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream or Road to TCG Worlds 2018 if you're watching this live on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Forget to leave a like, it really helps out the channel. And so today and this week rather, we're gonna be trying out Expanded in order to practice for Costa Mesa Regionals, which is happening this weekend. And I'm really excited to get back into competing. I missed Collinsville due to cups. I got 82 points out of a possible 100 for this quarter. Probably won't be going to any more cups, but that's good enough, I would imagine. And the White Snake, thank you so much for being here as always, supporting. Thank you so much. So the first deck we are going to take a look at is the Dallas winner deck, except we added a Cynthia in order to get just a small boost of consistency. The rest is pretty much the same. It's just Zoroark with Alolan Muk to not have to deal with opposing Sudowoodos that could potentially reduce our damage output. So that will be today's theme. It'll be exploring Dallas decks and hopefully with a few minor tweaks, improving them with Cynthia's inclusion and stuff like that. And then we will work on maybe new ideas on Wednesday. But today it will definitely be just the main contenders, the already tried and proven contenders from Expanded. And hello Atre, thanks so much for being here. So we have Zoroark-GX, a 4/4 1-line, 210 HP, ability trade, discard a card and draw 2. Righteous Beating, dealing 20 damage for every Pokemon you have in play, but thankfully with the Skyfield Stadium we get to deal up to 180 damage by having 9 Pokemon total in play, and finally 210 if we have a Choice Band attached. Then we have the Zoroark, really old Zoroark from Black and White with the attack Foul Play, where you get to choose one of the defending Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. This Zoroark is very relevant because there are so many good attacks and so many broken attacks at this point in time that being able to do that with a non-GX is really nice. It's also very good in the mirror match. And for example, Trickster GX, Zoroark's GX attack is actually a little bit better than that attack, but it is a GX attack. So that speaks volumes of the strength of the Zoroark. Now I know a lot of people also like the stand-in Zoroark as well, which is understandable. Both have merit. Running both is probably just too much space in the deck because you do want to set up between 2 or 3 Zoroark GXs just to trade. But it is another option. And then we are also running the super expensive Paralyzing Gaze Zoruas. I myself have never used Paralyzing Gaze once in a tournament, but who knows, maybe it could be relevant at some point or another. Then we have the 1/1 Alolan Muk line, Alolan Muk with its ability Power of Alchemy. That's a really cool name. Each basic Pokemon in play in each player's hand and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. So you stop things like Sudowoodo, which has the ability Roadblock, preventing you from benching more than 5 Pokemon. You no longer have to worry about that. You do shut up your own Sudowoodo as well, but there are it's good that it's in your control when it's active and when it's not. You also stop Execcute's Propagation, which can bring Execute back from the discard pile. You stop Shaymin-EX's setup, drawing extra cards for yourself or your opponent. You stop Tapu Lele-'s Wonder Tag, which is probably incredibly relevant. And there are other abilities you stop, but the main reason it's there is to stop Roadblock from Sudowoodo. Then we finally have a Seismitoad-EX with Quaking Punch. It's a great combination with Karen against Night March. It's very oppressive. I myself prefer Oricorio, but Riley Hulbert, who was the winner from Dallas, actually ended up using the Seismitoad plus Karen combination. Now in terms of supporter cards, we have double Brigette and double Colress, which seems to be the standard lately. I added in the one Cynthia over 1 versus Seeker, and then we have 1 N and 1 Ghetsis as well for draw. Then we have one Acerola, one Guzma, one Hex Maniac, the current I mentioned, and Pokémon Ranger. So we basically have every option we could possibly want. No Sycamore, which is interesting, but I don't know. There's definitely wiggle room here to play around with the counts. And then we have 4 Puzzle of Time and 4 Ultra Ball, which are definitely standard in Zoroark decks. We have the triple versus Seeker, as I mentioned. 4 just seems very excessive lately, and I took one out for an extra consistency card in Cynthia. We have 2 Battle Compressor to get those eggs into the discard pile. We have 1 Special Charge, we have 2 Choice Bands, 1 Float Stone. We have Red Card, which is really nice because you can combine Red Card with Hex Maniac, and it's as if you were playing N and Hex on the same turn. Or Red Card and Guzma, it's as if you were playing N and Guzma in the same turn. So Red Card has a lot of potential uses here. No Mallow and no teammates means it's a bit hard to pull off, but not completely difficult. 1 Rescue Stretcher as well to recover Pokemon, and then our race spec of choice is Computer Search. And we round this out with only 4 double colorless energy to go with Zoroark's attack. So let's jump into the ladder with the expanded Zoroark deck, and then we'll keep working our way through. The 5 decks I had planned for today was Zoroark Muk, Zoroark Lycanroc, Zoroark Golisopod, Trumpet Arbiter, and Gardevoir. Those are the 5 decks, but I could be convinced to do something like Andrew Mahone's Puzzle deck for expanded. And then I'm glad the audio was not on my part, the White Snake, and I haven't been talking on my own for a long time. Now, please let me know, guys, if there are any issues with the stream. I have noticed that it takes a while to find an opponent in expanded, so that's not ideal, but we'll be fine, I guess. Okay, so we're up against Rextron wins. We'll try to make it so that Rextron doesn't win. And okay, so yeah, Puzzle for expanded, that's also another option. I've definitely felt Puzzle was a bit underwhelming when I've tried it out, but we can give it a go. I'm gonna try to make this a really long stream. I have new internet, hopefully that will help fix some of the issues we were having before. And we seem to be up against a mirror match, just based on that Colress, Red Card, and Skyfield. Never mind, that was my deck. We seem to be up against Metagross, Solgaleo for expanded. Interesting. I guess that deck kind of makes sense, simply because you're not one-hit KO'd by Zoroark, which is always good. I'll just bench those 2. I might end up using Ultra Wall and getting rid of the Sudowoodo. We'll see how this goes. Captain Magenic, hello Pablo, what do you think about Puzzle for expanded? So yeah, the times I've tried Puzzle for expanded, it definitely has felt quite underwhelming. Wow, my opponent very risky, deciding to attach energy to Beldum and passing. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna discard the Exeggcute and the Sudowoodo, and I'm gonna grab Shaymin. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Shaymin. I'm just gonna try to dunk my opponent here. Probably won't happen. I only have one Float Stone, but I'm definitely gonna try. So I'll just use another Ultra Ball, and I can grab Lele. I mean, I have Computer Search. Oh, the Float Stone is priced, so never mind. I can't even go ahead and do that. So never mind. Okay. Okay, I really shouldn't be scared of a turn 2 Metagross knocking out my Zorua, correct? So I'll just do this. Okay, now I really regret. I should have, with the first search, I should have checked for the Float Stone. It's not there, so we won't be getting a knockout here. I could go for a Cynthia. I could go for a red card, although my opponent's hand hasn't shown any indication that it's strong. So yeah, I'll just Lele here for the Cynthia. which is also prized. Darn. Keep messing up. Okay. And I have a Zoroark. I guess I'll just bridge it here for another 2 Zoruas. Okay, so I definitely played that horribly. And I apologize for that. I just got way too excited at the prospect of knocking out my opponent's active on the first turn. No indication that my opponent has anything good, so I won't be using the red card just now. And we'll see what happens. So, Captain Magenic, what do I think Puzzle for Expanded? I mean, just by being fighting type, it seems good. But also feels a bit underwhelming. Oh my gosh. Oof, no energy discard, thankfully. Okay, so there's the Algorithm GX. So my opponent had a pretty good starting hand. I guess maybe that was enough of a reason to just play the red card. Maybe I should have just played it safe. 6 random cards was worse for me than 4 random cards. Puzzle has felt underwhelming in my testing. I tried Puzzle Garb, I tried Puzzle Lycanroc. Obviously Andrew Mahone had a lot of success in Dallas with it, but I'm just, I don't know, I'm not that big of a fan. And yeah, I think it loses big time to Night March. It loses big time to Night March. Okay, so we top deck a Battle Compressor. We can definitely get rid of the Exeggcute. We can definitely get rid of another Brigette, and we can get rid of the Hex, so we can start using it through versus Seeker. That seems good. We have the red card, which is really nice to just completely demolish my opponent's hand off of the Algorithm GX. It should be pretty nice. I also get a Computer Search, so I'm definitely gonna red card here. Now I have double propagation, so Computer Search could get me another Zoroark. Computer Search could get me something like Colress. Probably worth it to do so. I'm not too concerned about stopping abilities just now, but this matchup should definitely be good for us. This matchup should definitely be very good for us. So I will Colress here. Obviously I won't be using N. I will Colress. I will attach another DC here, and then there's the Colress. And we got another Zoroark. That means we get to trade once more. I'll be trading away the Seismitoad. Even though I have Exeggcutes, which I know make my trades essentially free, there's definitely a balance between how many trades you want to use Exeggcute with and deck thinning as well. So getting rid of cards like Ranger, like Seismitoad, which will not be useful in this particular match, is very important. So we see a Skyla by my opponent for an Ultra Ball for Shaymin, perhaps. We'll see. We shall see. There's a Metagross. Okay, so my opponent immediately has retreated to Vulpix. He has Rare Candy Metagross. That's pretty. That was not a bad red card for him. Definitely not a bad red card. Okay, so ideally we want to pursue that Metagross right there. Ideally, we have double trade to try and get to the Metagross. At least we should be removing the Cosmogs from play. Those are the really strong attackers. If we had a Grimer, we could just shut off my opponent's Lele. However, we can, if we're not able to do that, we can just Hex. Hex should be more than good enough. And Medina Streams, hello, thank you so much for being here. Waddling Corgis. Are you Riley? Waddling Corgis. Yeah, this is Riley's deck, just with Cynthia added in. Okay, so this is where I will propagation. And the White Snake, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There we go, filling up the thingy, filling up the cup. Thank you so much for the cheers. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. Okay, do I feel like I'll be using this Zoroark? Maybe. I'll just propagation again. Thank you so much. The stream seems to be flawless for now. Super stable, super everything. I am with a new company, with a new internet company. Okay, I don't have any more traits. I guess I will evolve my 4th Zoroark, and therefore I will trade away this Zoroark. I really don't want a double puzzle for the Hex, but I will if I have to. I get the Guzma, but I feel like the Hex is actually more important. So I'm just gonna double puzzle here, and I'll bring back Computer Search, and I'll bring back the Hex. I don't have any Seeker I can bring back to keep reusing the Hex, but getting back the Computer Search is good enough, I would say. So I will Hex, no abilities for Metagross, no Lele Wonder Tag either for my opponent. So we should be good here, and we remove the Pokemon Search as well. So we know 2 out of 3 cards that my opponent has. And Kid Shocker, yes, I am going to Costa Mesa. The White Snake, thank you so much for the extra cheers, that's so kind of you. Really filling up that cup. Okay, so my opponent top decked Oranguru, benched the Cosmog, and now he has Tapu Lele as his only card in his hand. So I do have to be aware of decking myself out, but what I can do is I did top deck a Seeker, I can get Hex, and I feel like all I need to do is chain Hex in order to win here. Or I can also save myself the Hex chain by setting up the Muk, right? So I can do this, and then I will Hex this turn. I don't need to draw any more cards for now. I will simply Hex, and I will Raichu Speeding. It's important that I 2-hit KO the Metagrosses and that I prevent abilities. So my opponent has Tapu Lele in his hand. What else does he have? A Max Potion, that's fine. Right now, I set up the Muk, and then I don't have to worry about hexing every turn anymore. Basically, all I need to do is keep clicking Raichu Speeding, and that should be good enough to win the match. Oh, you got top 16. That's cool. I mean, congrats on that. That's definitely really, really cool. And the White Snake. Wow. There we go. Look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. That is so kind of you. Kid Chucker, this is Zoroark Muk. This is purely Zoroark Muk. My opponent tries to buy himself a turn with Guzma. We have Guzma ourselves, so that was not going to be an issue. And we were about to start knocking out Metagrosses, although I probably would have gone after the Cosmog. So yeah, Hex chain just too strong against that deck. Yeah, pretty solid win here. Pretty solid win. Okay. So we get a Machamp for our efforts. It's not bad. And Splush, yeah. Thank you so much, the White Snake. Thank you so much. You don't know what that is, Kid Shocker. It's Zoroark with Alolan Muk. Zoroark-GX deals a lot of damage. Alolan Muk prevents abilities from basic Pokemon. As Bob McDougall is saying as well, Zoroark, it also has a Seismitoad-EX. Turn 1 Hex is pretty good in Expanded. And yeah, Salcao, the next regional that's taking place this upcoming weekend in Costa Mesa will be Expanded. So that's why we're using Expanded decks for now. Okay, so internet seems to be stable, right guys? There's no stuttering of the stream or anything. If there is, please let me know, but everything seems to be good here on my end. Okay, so this gives me, this is giving me a bad deja vu. At Dallas, I had a similar sort of hand, and I chose to start Exeggcute, assuming I could just Lele for Brigette the turn afterwards. And my opponent actually ended up donking me with Hypnotoxic Laser and Virbank CD 2 out of the 3 games. So just trying to make sure that doesn't happen again, so I'm not even gonna risk starting the Exeggcute. In one of the games I had a choice, in the other I definitely did not. But yeah, that's how my Dallas regional started off. Okay, and we seem to be up against the fighting deck that you guys wanted to see. So, ooh, Ninja Boy is interesting here. Elixirs, Lysander, Switch, and Ninja Boy, and Skyfield, interestingly enough. We see a Regirock, we see a Shaymin. Why is this Regirock here? Unyielding Rock doesn't even knock out... Unyielding Rock doesn't even knock out Zoroark-GX because it's a GX, not an EX. Okay. So no Zoroarks are priced, that's good. No DCs are priced either. My opponent already played the Skyfield for us. Starting Shaymin actually seems like a pretty good idea now, because we do have the fighting resistance. And I think that's all I do for now. Next turn we do rely on the Ghetsis, so maybe that was way too risky on my part. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Good morning, Josh. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, I mean, Kid Sugar, you should build it, and I don't think you need these Zoruas. I don't think you need those Zoruas for sure. Kid Sugar, no. The regional list has been defined since back in July, I believe. And it always said that this regional would be expanded. So I don't know where you read that. Okay, so oh, this top deck is pretty crucial. The field blower is really nice to make sure that I do have a knockout on the side guard. Okay, the question is, I don't know my opponent's hand. So do I red card him and then get this? Or do I trade first? I guess I'll trade first. And see, and based off of those 2 cards, I'll make a decision. I get a DC, which is very nice. In this spot, okay. I feel like this hand is good enough to use Ghetsis. Ooh, we hit double versus Seeker. That's amazing. So this means my opponent will be dead drawing here most likely. I even get a choice band. So this was like, this was probably the perfect setup for us. Okay, so I definitely don't want to promote Zoroark after this. I feel like I can give up 1 prize with Exeggcute, just so that I don't have to struggle to find a Acerola or Float Stone next turn to retreat. So I will just hit with Sky Return and then promote the Exeggcute. And we should be good here. Next turn we can knock out the side guard with Zoroark potentially, as long as I draw. No, I have enough. I can deal 130 right now. I can deal 150. So 150 plus 60, yeah, still not enough. My opponent, we know he has a Karen in his hand. We don't know the other 2 cards. He does heal 30 damage, but that is completely fine. I definitely will be taking a knockout here. Ooh, double puzzle is very nice. Okay, there's no way. Can I make my hand smaller? Small enough? Let's try. Okay, so I will be using this card. I will be using this card. I can field blower. This, and then I'll play my own Skyfield. And there we go. Okay, so I get to draw a card with Shaymin. Or I could simply double puzzle for the Brigette and the field blower. And Brigette would get me all the basic Pokemon that I do need. Double puzzle for Brigette seems pretty weak though. But there's nothing really on my opponent's bench that threatens me. So I'll propose. Okay, I won't be drawing any cards from Shaymin. I'll even try to avoid benching it. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Okay, and there's a Lele. So Lele can just find me the other Brigette, and we should be good. because we have a ton of basic Pokemon that we might want to bench, such as the Grimer, such as the Sudowoodo, and the fourth Zorua. So fourth Zorua, Sudowoodo, and Grimer. My opponent is playing Skyfield. That's good news for us. And then this, what I'll do, I'll propagation. I'll get another Zoroark-GX. And then I can get rid of the red card. No, red card's really good to control my opponent. So probably, okay, there's a victory. Yeah, so pure fighting deck. Zoroark is just way too strong. Zoroark is simply way too strong. And yeah, guys, the deck list is Riley's winning list from Dallas, just -1 versus Seeker, +1 Cynthia. And DJ enters. Hello, Oliver. Thank you so much for being here. I will be going to Portland as well. Definitely will be going to Portland. 100% going to Portland. Okay, stream seems to be going flawless actually, which is pretty impressive. I mean, usually around the hour mark is when it stops working. Once again, the deja vu. Hypnotoxic Laser, Virbank City for the turn 1, for the in-between turns win. That's my nightmare. That is certainly one of my nightmares. Okay, at least we get the turn 1 Brigette potentially. Or guaranteed rather, if we get a turn. That's the thing, if we get a turn. And we probably will be having a turn. Okay, so if this is Lunala, it will be a super easy matchup. If this is Metal, as we saw, as long as the Hex Maniac is not priced, we should have a very, very easy time with this. We should have an easy time. So, ooh, this is actually Solgaleo Bronzong. Same concept. I mean, I do like Bronzong more than combining with Metagross, especially because of Solgaleo's ability. And we'll see. We'll have to see if my opponent's deck can actually stand up to ours. There we see another Bronzer. So pretty decent turn for my opponent. No Brigette and already having 4 Pokemon. What did he discard? He chose to discard the Metal instead of benching another Cosmog, interestingly enough. Okay, so we get double Puzzle. I'm gonna Ultra Ball away the 2 Zoroarks. I really need to keep this other Ultra Ball if I wanna Team MCR. Thanks so much for the host. That's very kind of you. There's a Lele. We'll just grab the Brigette. We have Hex. So as long as we're able to get some sort of stable setup, we should be good here. And discarding the 2 Zoroarks is not ideal, but I do have double Puzzle, and I also have another Ultra Ball, and I have Risky Stretcher, so that made sense in my eyes. And we're just gonna grab triple Zoroark here, and we'll see what happens next turn. Usually Zoroark has this like very slow turn 1s, and then it just explodes with a bunch of Zoroark-GXs. Team MCR, thank you so much for the host. Pounds of Xanax, thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you get to hang out with us on our Twitch stream. A lot of, like, every video now from YouTube comes from Twitch. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking to you guys live, so I appreciate it that you make the effort to be here live. Thank you so much for the kind words. Okay, so we saw another Sycamore, Juniper rather. My opponent lost to Solgaleo. And gonna computer search, probably for a rare candy. That must be the card that my opponent is missing. It'd be very funny to see my opponent just demolish a poor Exeggcute by dealing 250 damage. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but we'll see. This Foul Play Zoroark is actually gonna be insane against my opponent's Solgaleo deck. It's actually gonna be insane. I'm certain we're gonna see a rare candy Solgaleo right now. Ooh, Ultra Ball. So lots of discards for my opponent. Lots and lots of discards for my opponent. And thank you for the follow, Pounds of Xanax. Okay, there's a Solgaleo. So my opponent's hand is 3 cards. Rare candy, Solgaleo, and you have to assume a supporter card of sorts. He did discard Ultra Ball discard. He did discard Juniper and N off of the computer search. And looks like my opponent will be taking a knockout with Cobalion, which makes sense. Sunsteel Strike. Okay, so no cards in hand for my opponent. The last card was a basic Metal Energy. And we'll take the knockout on the Exeggcute. We can potentially return knockout on the Cobalion. Hello, Injustagon. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so the question here is, if I knock him out, he can't just power up Solgaleo if he gets another Bronzong or a basic metal. So I should prepare for that. I should definitely prepare for that. Okay, this is a great top deck. This is actually a really good top deck. Okay, Compressor, this card, and then I can get the Hex in the discard pile and get it back. And the, well, I don't need the choice band actually. If I Hex, I'm guaranteed that my Zoroark survives. So I think I like that. I think I really like that. And what else do I discard? Okay, something not so useful, like the other Brigette. Probably that's more useful than Karen is. Okay. So now, we have double propagation. I'll start off by trading. Ooh, maybe I should have discarded a DC to guarantee the DC. The DC is actually the card that we might not be able to get this turn. Okay. So there's the Ultra Ball. Ooh. I could actually... Okay. Yeah, let's go for the Shaymin. I'm just gonna use up all of my hand right now. Okay. So I will double Puzzle for Zoroark-GX and the Hex. And the Hex will stay in my hand. And then I will also rescue Stretcher back the Zoroark with Foul Play. And so I will evolve here. And then I'll draw 5 with Shaymin, then I'll trade for an extra 2. Hopefully I get one of my 4 DCs. There we go, perfect. And I even get another Ultra Ball, so things are working out really, really nicely. And shout out to Team Squid. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so huge shout out to our sponsors, to Tabletop Village and Sakura Scoop. If you guys don't know, you use the link down below, you get 10% off on your first purchase from Tabletop Village. And I know they have a lot of codes and stuff in stock if you guys wanna check that out. Okay, so now I can propagation trade. So yeah, lots of things to do during our turn, but we should have things under control, honestly. I don't see myself, well, benching Seismitoad seems okay. Nah, yeah, benching Seismitoad seems okay instead of Lele. We have a lot of easy targets for my opponent to pick off, so the important thing here will be to just Hex every single turn. So now we have the energy, there's the Seismitoad. I will even Field Blower away these 2 things just because I can. And so right now I'm hitting for 120. I'll just end my turn with a Hex, and I will Righteous Beating for the knockout. So we don't have quadruple trade like we did the previous game. We only have 2, but getting the foul play Zoroark in play was very important so that we can copy Sunsteel Strike from my opponent and just completely demolish his Solgaleo. That's the idea, at least. Oh, we had a huge drop in bitrate, but seems to have stabilized for now. If you guys see any issues with the stream, please let me know. Okay, so now my opponent just attached energy to Solgaleo. So in an ideal world, I knock out the Solgaleo this turn. If I don't, I'll be happy with just a Hex. We do need a lot of cards in order to get that knockout right here. I'll just trade again with Propagation. Hello, Mr. Rocker. Thanks so much for being here. We've got another trade. Okay, so if we don't get it, ooh, we get a Ghetsis. Okay. Okay, so we can't Hex this turn. So what I'll do is Guzma. I will Guzma my opponent's Solgaleo, and I need to hit it with something that I don't mind losing, right? Do I want to Ultra Ball for anything? I just want to get rid of the Pokemon Ranger. I don't have my. I have one Zorua priced, so I can't get that. I can, however, get the Grimer, I guess. We also have 2 versus Seeker's price. That explains it. That explains it. Okay. Feel like I'll just bench this Sudowoodo, and so I can attack this Solgaleo with Zoroark. Or is that worth it? I think it is. I think it's worth it. I did not get the choice band, but that is completely fine. We'll lose at DCE. We will lose at DCE, and that's okay. Because now Solgaleo has 20 HP left, my opponent has 1 card in hand. No guarantee that it's even an energy to get a knockout. So we should be good here, I think. We should be good. Hello, Joe Bro. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, this will be the last game of this deck. Then we'll move on to a different one. We're gonna try to review the top 5 decks from the last regional, from the last expanded regional. Hello, Pixel Hungry. Thanks so much for being here. There's the energy for the Solgaleo. And he will Sunsteel Strike, dealing 250 damage, or 230, sorry, to the Zoroark. Definitely doesn't seem like a good trade-off. And now, ooh, if I take the knockout with Seismitoad, that could potentially be really good here. But I don't think I want to even risk it. I'll just promote Zoroark, and then here Ghetsis actually seems like a pretty good choice. Yeah, I'll get this. Just check out what my opponent has. It's it's a Lele and it's an Aegislash. So once I get a knockout, my opponent will be able to Lele. I will bench the Grimer now, and let's just double trade here. Let's just double trade. Ooh, if I had known that, probably should have benched the Grimer before. Or just trade it first and see if I could have gotten the versus Seeker for the Hex. Probably a misplay on my part, but I really doubt it's gonna matter at this point. I'll just Righteous Beating. There's really nothing that threatens me. My opponent needs a huge draw off of the Lele. It is possible though, I guess. But now we have 2 versus Seeker, so even if we lose this Zoroark, My opponent, I will not let my opponent take the last prize. Ryan was taken, thank you so much for the host. 83 viewers, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Go Team TCGO. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Okay, my opponent promoted the Cosmog, interestingly enough. And in just like this is Riley's Lonzoro, just with 1 card difference. There's a Cynthia over a 4th versus Seeker. That's it. Dustmane with Bronzong is good. It could be good. Yeah, it definitely could be good. Yeah, the host was amazing. Thank you so much. Ryan was taken. Hello. Thank you so much for the huge host. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Would it be a good deck against Zoroark? I don't know. It's like you're trading 1-hit KOs, which is nice, but Hex just completely destroys you. That's the issue with all those type of decks. Hex just completely destroys you. Okay, I'm gonna get back both Exeggcutes. Well, should I even get both back? I'll just trade once. I'm not really looking for anything anymore. I just evolve into Muk, shut off Aegisplash. That doesn't shut off Bronzong. My opponent has 2 cards in his hand. And he won't be able to use Lele anymore. So this should be game, I believe. There's nothing that prevents me. Salud! There's nothing that prevents me from just evolving into Muk and winning that way. Yeah, and I mean I have a lot of means to not deck out. So we just righteous beating and get the knockout because of no abilities. Don't even need to hex. Tapu Lele is no longer activated. So we should be good. We should be good. Zoro with Vespiquen is also a pretty good deck. Zoroark Lycanroc is a very good deck as well, in both standard and expanded. Certainly has space, and there's a victory. So pretty solid wins for this deck. This deck is obviously very strong going into Costa Mesa. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps out the channel. This will be all for today, but if you're watching live on Twitch, don't go anywhere, guys. I will be right back with the next deck, which will be Zoroark Lycanroc. Okay, so don't go anywhere, please guys. I'll be right back.